What's happening, John guys? Welcome back to This is the Police. This is chapter 13 when we last left off. We just woke from the coma that Boyd was in, so now we're on day 59. So we've skipped a fair bit of time here. It's been a long while since we've actually been, police chief and seen our staff and all that, so I'm interested to see how things are when we come back. Only one way to find out, though. Let's read the headlines and we'll jump back in. Jack Boyd unable to name attackers. Jack Boyd recovers from head injury. Police chief awakes from coma. Ooh, that new car though. And Dahl didn't come into work today. Too tired, I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? No good to me. No. What the fuck, man? Why is my staff all, like, super exhausted? Don't make no sense. Alright, looks like we have a stripe we can give out, McCoy. Thank you for your service. So what are we down to then? 6 people on shift A right now and 2 detectives. This is insane. Back in Business by Kari Burton. You know what I just realized? We kind of got scammed with the records that we were gonna buy. Cop hunt from Martin Stett. Jack, while you were in the hospital, a hunt was declared on all cops. It's like all the criminals in the city suddenly went savage. They're cornering officers one by one and beating them to death. Our boys have started refusing to ride out on calls alone. When the situation is really bad, even 2 will refuse to go. Thank you. Let's get them working 3 times a day. Make me feel a little bit better. What do we got going on here? We're missing a fair bit, huh? We're missing 6 cops. That was all from shift B, if I remember correctly. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we're missing 1 from shift A. And the rest for shift B. Okay, so I still need 1 more cop for shift B. I should have actually loaded shift B up completely, but I'm gonna demand a raise at this point. Alright. It's gonna be a rough day today, but we're gonna jump into it. Vandalism at the city center. Passerby saw 3 teenagers setting fire to a parked car. According to an eyewitness, you can still catch them. They're just walking down the street, not even in a hurry. Stokes takes Barcelona. Check that out. It's funny that the game's like, by the way, now you have to have partners. It's like, been doing partners for like, since like, I don't know, day 7 or 8, somewhere in there. Drug sales in King Louis nightclub. Club patrons found a man lying unconscious in the bathroom due to an apparent drug overdose. Okay. The only active detectives I have right now are technically on a case still. Moody and Sandstorm, go and check that out. Fortunately, I'm just going to archive everything. It's been too long. Trails have probably gone cold.
in progress.
A theft at the Everyday Mall. Security guard noticed a suspicious group of teenagers hiding things under their jackets as they walked past the checkout. When he asked them to stop, the teenagers scattered in all directions and ran out of the store into the parking lot. The guard called the police and says they couldn't have gone far. Gilbert Morta, you guys are up. Alright. Starting the investigation on the drug sales. Jim Bates, the bartender, says, saw a little fella in a white jacket. He ordered the cherry juice, drank at the bar, and then went to the bathroom with some bearded guy. I thought they were just up for a little tickle. You see a lot of these days. When the other folks found the bearded guy with his nose in the toilet, I knew the guy in the jacket was up to no good. Doctor says the man suffered a heart attack brought on by cocaine use. He lost consciousness, fell down, and hit his head. The man was rushed into intensive care. His condition is serious but stable. Interesting. One of the booths had a broken toilet, and on the floor beneath was an empty cocaine bag sitting in a pool of blood. T. Gilliam, the bum, says, I saw a kid in a silly white jacket running out of the club. Ran like the devils were after him. Wish I had some of whatever he was on. Jennifer Groos, club patron, says, I was doing my eyes at the bathroom mirror when I heard a terrible roar on the other side of the wall. Me and my friend went to see what was happening and found a drug addict lying on the floor. Of course, we called an ambulance, but it might be better if he didn't make it. These smelly druggies only stink up the air out of our beautiful planet. So we basically already know, more or less, that this guy had something to do with it. It's just what part did he play?
415 in progress.
We have a reckless endangerment call in the ghetto. An unidentified woman says that there's a strange surgeon operating without a license from the basement of her house. He hardly looks like a real doctor. He's old, maybe senile, and always seems drunk. Stokes, you know what? Williams in Barcelona. Looks like we won that battle up at the Everyday Mall.
In progress. Officer on scene. Looks like
In a dirty basement, a teetering old man is digging around inside a young man's ripped open stomach. So order the old man to move away slowly. That's the best case scenario. Rape in Chinatown dormitory. A student couldn't get into his room. It was locked from the inside and he heard muffled cries coming from within. Sounded like someone was raping my girlfriend. Gilbert Morta. We have a homicide at St. John's Hospital. A nurse reports that she saw an elderly woman caught off her husband's life support system after a car accident left him in a coma for months. I know his case was hopeless, but it's still murder, the greatest sin of all. According to the nurse, the woman was blocked off. The woman has blocked off the entrance to the ward. False alarm. The girlfriend was just having a special moment with her new boyfriend. Jesus. What do we got over here? Assault with an offensive weapon. A trucker just called in. He says a van stopped on the side of the road and 3 large men got out with shovels and someone fell to the ground out of the back of the van. I think they had his hands tied up. They hit him in the head with one of the shovels and led him into the woods. I'm gonna send McCoy, Stokes, Gilbert, Morta. Check that out. Could be nothing, but I don't want to send 2-on-3 there. I'd rather send 4-on-3.
Officer on scene.
Everything's empty, but the engine is still warm. The area is silent and dark. So enter the forest, try not to make any sound.
412
It should say offenders caught. It keeps bugging me every time we do cases.
910 in progress.
Armed robbery at the Sardias jewelry store. An eyewitness reports that five armed men burst into a jewelry store. A series of gunshots followed. Then a few minutes later, a girl staggered out of the store, bleeding from the stomach. She fell to the pavement, unconscious. I'm going to need more than just my 2 officers here. Hopefully these other guys make it. Yeah, they're not going to go.
910 complete.
Fortunately, I'm just too short-staffed. Got 3 new frames in our investigation here. Probably looks something a little like that. Well, our first day back was overall okay. You know, we just had to make through shift A with 6 people. We managed to.
Impressive recovery, Mr. Boyd. I'm still not happy about how soon you're back to work. Well, not happy as your doctor. As a resident of Freiburg, I'm immensely grateful for it.
Really?
Just don't tell anyone, or they'll pull my license.
Well, thank you again for coming to see me at night.
Oh, well, whatever you need, Mr. Boyd. Any doctor in this town would come running any hour, day or night, you can believe me. You're not suffering from headaches. It says here that you are taking painkillers after a back injury. But the prescribed dose is enough to...
Dr. Kraczynski, you trust me?
And, sorry?
Do you trust me?
In what way, Mr. Boyd?
You think I'm an honest and reasonable man, Doctor?
You're joking, Mr. Boyd. Thanks to you, my wife finally agreed to buy a house here, and we've decided to have children. Thanks to you, I'm not afraid to visit my patients at night. I think you are the most honest and reasonable person in the city, Mr. Boyd.
Great. You see, Dr. Kraczynski, I'm an addict.
Mr. Boyd, is...
Well, not a drug addict in the way you might imagine. I'm not some weak-willed junkie. Sometimes I stay clean so long that the tablets stay locked in the barn so long they go past the expiration date. But there are less pleasant stories.
You know what? Let's...
I once took a whole bottle right there in the barn. Passed out in my own vomit. I almost choked. I fought the convulsions, somehow managed to break 4 ribs. For 2 weeks, my chest was so sore I wanted to die. But for those 2 weeks, I kept swallowing pills. Couldn't stop.
If you want, I could...
I once took a dose right before a party at home. My wife Laura had some old friends over from college. I didn't take that many, maybe 5 or 6 pills, but it felt like I'd taken a few hundred. I passed out while I was carrying a tray of drinks. On the way down, I knocked over a set of Laura's scented candles. The house almost burned down. The repairs took a good chunk from our savings.
Mr. Boyd, if you'll allow me, I'd just...
As you can see, Doctor, I'm well aware of the seriousness of the situation and the possible consequences. But sometimes I need the pills. I don't use the word lightly. Sometimes I've got to work on cases with more energy than I've got. I can't do it without them. And I know you want me doing my job. So tomorrow, I want you to come here and bring me some tablets. Lots of tablets. 10 bottles. No, better 15. Yeah, 15 bottles. The next 3 months are going to be extremely difficult, Doc.
I would like to discuss your...
You'll bring the pills, Doctor?
Yes, Mr. Boyd. Yes.
Very good. Look, I don't want to trouble you any further. I bet your family doesn't like you running away with me at night. I'd bet they'd rather I was still in that coma.
Day 60, September 12th, Thursday. Kevin Paulson prepared to take helm at FPD. Rogers is responsible for Freeburg PD breakdown. Mayor Rogers supports Kevin Paulson as next police chief. I trust my family. Maybe you shouldn't. Although he already knows that. Coachy didn't come into work today. Percy didn't come into work today. So we're down Vela, Coachy, Percy, and Mole. So we have 7 officers this shift. 3 detectives. Whiskey Tinged by Wilfred. Penalty from City Hall. Please be advised that we are unhappy with the efficiency of the Freeburg PD. We're cutting the department's budget. I lose 1 job slot. That's brutal. That can't be Percy. Well, Vandal, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to go. I have to raise that limit again. Or do I? No, because I have Percy, technically. So if I just hire someone for shift A, I should be fine. Homicide in the ghetto. 2 teenagers were sitting on some steps and smoking. A black man approached and asked for a cigarette. Go ask somebody else, monkey. The adolescents responded. The man grew enraged quickly, pulled out a knife, and drove it into the chest of one of the teens, according to the other teenager who managed to escape. Then he took a cigarette, quietly sat down on the steps, and started smoking. Trevor and Antonasia. Take White and Lazerny. I didn't want to commit that many people, but gotta build up some proficiencies here.
11 in progress.
We have a rape in residential area. Morris Queen heard from a neighboring apartment a panicked female voice cry out, "Help, I'm being raped." Then according to him, all was quiet for a few seconds. Then I heard something about laundry detergent and bleach, and then some music started playing. Spain, Lovis, Steel, check that out.
More testing. 412 in progress.
False alarm. It turns out that McQueen's neighbors just bought a new TV and we're watching some horror movies at full volume.
113 in progress.
Assault at the transformer vault. Electrician Jason Pruitt was conducting a regular inspection at a transformer substation and found a dirty, hairy bum who pounced on him like a wild bear. Homeless man bit him pretty severely, ripping a piece of flesh from his hand. The electrician was stunned but managed to run away from the substation, leaving the suspect inside. We'll send Antonashi and White to check that out. Carjacking in city center. 2 teenagers were laying in wait for the paramedics to go for their usual coffee and then made off with their ambulance. We literally turned away for less than a minute. Let's wait on that for a second. I don't want to send Trevor alone with someone unexperienced. Or inexperienced, I guess. I'll send Spain, Loves, and Lazzarini. Municipal assignment from City Hall is cleanliness aid in Freeburg, which will be covered, widely covered by the TV and media. 3 employees from all city services, including the police, should come to help clean up. Fortunately, I only have 2, so I'm refusing that. Had you called a second earlier, I could spare them. Jason Pruitt has lost consciousness and he's shaking, convulsing on the ground. There's foam coming out of his mouth. Call an ambulance. The homeless man is still hiding in the transformer structure. The entrance is smeared with blood. Let's open the door and order the man to exit the substation. Good job. Okay, Lazzarini is almost 150, which is good, and then I gotta get steel up there. Massive fight at the dump. About a dozen homeless people were sifting through a landfill for valuables and came across a case with a combination lock. While they were deciding how to split the contents, the group began to fight. A few of them have knives. An eyewitness called the police and reports that some seem ready for a fight to the death. Last time we had a massive anything, we lost a lot of officers. Want everyone to go check that out. Good job. See, even for that one, offender caught. It should be offenders caught. If we know it's more than one person. Just saying. I think I'll even be in time to take this call.
113A in progress.
We have an attempted carjacking in a residential area. A woman called in to complain about a car alarm. This fucking howling woke me up. I have to get up for work tomorrow. I looked out the window and saw a dark figure duck into the alley. I think there's someone trying to steal a car. Alright, Antonashi, take Lazzarini and steal. Check that out. As for this other one, public indecency in Beatbusters Dance Studio. Exotic dancer Marissa Gomez complained about a strange man in a raincoat. One of our rooms can be seen from the street. It's so we can attract customers. Customers, not perverts. This isn't the first time we chase this guy away. He comes all the time wearing a raincoat no matter the weather, and it seems like he's touching himself. Spain, take White. See about that. We have a fight at the King Louis nightclub. The bouncer at a nightclub refused entrance to 5 lowlifes, hinting that flip-flops and sweatpants will chase off the women. Lowlifes got angry and decided they'd teach the bouncer some manners, a fight ensued. I don't think I want to send just 2 to that. Might have to. Man is standing outside the window, pressing his nose against the glass and touching himself under his coat. Let's grab the man by the arm and throw him into the patrol car. I'll try to send these 2. I don't think they'll take it. Oh, they took it. Trevor and Loves, be safe. Also learn, no one is trying to steal cars. The vehicle's security system is too sensitive and reacts to even the slightest noise.
311A complete.
You win some, you lose some. That's for sure.
Mr. Boyd, I'm going home. Do you need anything?
Oh, no, don't go. I need to talk to you. I won't keep you long. I just need to make one phone call and I'll be right out, okay?
Of course, Mr. Boyd.
Do you know what time it is?
I didn't mean, well, maybe I did. Guess I'm a son of a bitch.
Jack? Good Lord, Jack, I wanted to talk to you. Was wondering if you'd call. How do you feel?
I'm good, Mrs. Markham. Better than ever. The back pain is gone, the insomnia is gone, my hair is growing back, and my pathological indecisiveness seems to have run off somewhere.
Jack, if you think I had anything to do with that...
I'll waste no more time trying to think, Mrs. Markham. Every second counts. There's a lot to do. And one of those things is finding Laura.
Jack, your tone is scaring me.
Good. Turns out I have a knack for that. Scaring people. So, Mrs. Markham, I'm gonna look for my wife, and if you somehow get in my way, I'll send a special squad to your house. First they'll throw your dog in the fire, then they'll arrest you for prostitution.
What? What the he... Prostitution?
Sometimes it's necessary to invent charges. It's not like I can arrest you for being an unbearable bitch. Emma, I need a detective.
Oh, of course, Mr. Boyd. What shift?
No, not one of ours. A private detective.
Oh.
I know that when your father stole your mother's jewelry and left her, you hired a private investigator. You didn't go to the police.
You know, Mr. Boyd, it was a family problem, and we felt that it would...
I understand perfectly, Emma. You don't need to explain anything. I'm in a similar situation. As you might have heard, my wife left the house. She's missing, you could say.
I'm not sure what you're...
I know you've heard all about it. I want her found, but I don't want the department involved. Same reason you didn't. So I decided to hire your private detective. Think you can arrange it?
Oh, of course, Mr. Boyd. I'll call him and arrange everything. And don't worry, he'll keep it a secret.
Fine. What do you need from me?
Well, just gather all the information that might be useful and put it in an envelope, bring it to me, and I'll take it to him.
Good. Okay, take the day off tomorrow and get a good night's sleep. The day after tomorrow, I'll have that envelope for you.